So the world of 3D printing, it often feels, well, pretty complex, right? There's this steep learning curve that can feel maybe a little intimidating. But what if there was a printer that promised a shortcut? Advanced features, maybe even multicolor printing, basically right out of the box. Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the Bambu Lab A1 Combo 3D printer. Our mission here is to really pull out the critical insights from this in-depth report we've got, dissecting its promise and the practical realities for you.
Yeah, and what's really insightful here, I think, is how Bambu Lab came at this. They're ex-DJI drone engineers. They didn't just make a user-friendly printer. It feels like they rethought the whole ecosystem, a bit like Apple, maybe. The core idea seems to be that, look, the average user doesn't actually want to troubleshoot endlessly. They just want to create stuff.
Right. I'm really curious about what makes this specific printer stand out. I mean, our report gave it a seriously high score overall, 92 out of 100, and that bang for buck rating, 9.5 out of 10. That's huge. So what were the key things that really impressed the reviewers? What's the core appeal for you, the learner?
Well, it really excels in a couple of key areas, speed and print quality. And that's driven by features like full automatic calibration. We're talking Z offset, that crucial first layer height.
Oh, yeah, that can make or break a print.
Exactly. And bed leveling, vibration compensation, it handles all that. Plus, the included AMS Lite system makes 4-color printing genuinely easy. And it's quiet. Like under 48 decibels in silent mode.
Wait, 48 decibels? Seriously?
Yeah, they use active motor noise canceling. It really does live up to that plug-and-play idea.
Yeah.
Something like 78% of users gave it 5-star reviews, praising that ease of use.
Wow, 48 dB. I remember my first printer sounded like a tiny construction site, so you could actually run this thing in your living room without driving everyone crazy. All right, so given these impressive features, what are the realistic boundaries? What can it do that maybe people assume it can?
That's a really critical point.
Yeah.
The A1 is definitely optimized for lower temperature materials.
Okay.
Think PLA, PTG, TPU, PVA, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's got that open frame design, right? So high temperature materials, the ones prone to warping like ABS, ASA, or nylon,
yeah,
they're officially not recommended unless you build or buy an enclosure.
Ah, okay.
So that's a key trade-off you make for the affordability and the design itself.
Gotcha. A very practical trade-off then. So if you're mainly printing, say, cosplay parts or tabletop miniatures, it sounds fantastic, but maybe not the first choice for an engineer prototyping, like a high-stress mechanical part.
Precisely.
And for those projects, it is good for how big can you go? What's the build volume like?
It's actually pretty substantial. It boasts a 256 by 256 by 256 millimeter build volume.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that matches Bambu Lab's more expensive printers, actually.
Yeah.
So imagine printing like a full-size helmet, potentially in one piece, and it's fully compatible with standard 1.75 millimeter third-party filaments too.
Okay, good.
Though I should mention their own stools have RFID tags. They automatically tell the printer what material and color is loaded, so that offers seamless integration if you want ultimate ease.
Right, the convenience factor. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Understanding the product often means understanding the company behind it. What can our sources tell us about Bambu Lab? Where did they come from? How do they operate?
Well, like I mentioned, Bambu Lab was founded in 2020. The founders came from DJI, the drone company. They're based in Shenzhen, China. And their stated mission is really about making cutting-edge tech accessible. Now, there's a detail from our sources which might be relevant for certain buyers concerned about security. The company is partially funded by IDG Capital. That's an investment firm that, for a time, was on a U.S. government list regarding alleged associations with Chinese military-linked entities. We're just, conveying that factual context from the report.
Understood. Just laying out the information. But okay, even with all the high praise, it hasn't all been smooth sailing, has it? Our sources mentioned some bumps in the road.
No, that's right. There was a pretty notable recall shortly after launch concerning the heat bed cable.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, due to a potential fire hazard, which is obviously serious. The company response was pretty comprehensive, though. They offered refunds or replacements with store credit. And importantly, the new units being sold now have an upgraded, safer cable.
Okay, so addressed, but definitely something to be aware of from its history.
Definitely. And beyond that, there are also some user reports mentioning inconsistent customer support experiences and some concerns, especially from more advanced users, about it being a bit of a closed ecosystem, less open to tinkering than some other platforms.
Right, the classic trade-off between convenience and control. So for you, the potential buyer thinking about this, these points lead to some pretty critical questions you need to ask yourself.
Exactly. If we kind of connect all these dots, you really need to consider maybe 4 key things. First, what materials are you actually planning to print with? Is it mostly the lower temp stuff like PLA and PTG, or do you really need those engineering grade options like ABS or nylon? Second, how essential is multicolor printing for you? Is it worth the fairly large physical footprint of that AMS Lite unit and the extra filament waste that inevitably comes with color changes?
Good point, yeah.
Third, how important is getting really rapid hands-on customer support if something does go wrong? Based on those reports, it might be variable. And fourth, what's your preference? Do you lean towards a tightly integrated, super convenient ecosystem like Bambu's? Or do you value the freedom of open source hardware and software, customizability?
Those are really the core decision points, aren't they? So ultimately, it sounds like the Bambu Lab A1 Combo really is an outstanding value proposition, particularly for beginners, hobbyists, makers, basically anyone who wants an exceptionally easy, fast, and multicolor 3D printing experience, as long as they're working mainly with those non-engineering materials.
Yeah, I think that sums it up well.
So the A1 Combo, it genuinely feels like it's pushing the boundaries of what you can expect from an accessible, more affordable 3D printer.
It really does. And, it prompts a bigger question, doesn't it? In this era where technology is getting more and more convenient, how much control are we as users actually willing to trade away for that pure, effortless user experience?
That is definitely something to chew on as you consider your next deep dive.